Combat triage. Triage originates from the French word trier, means to sort, pick, or to choose from among groups. It's a simple enough concept, but what if the thing you're choosing is sick and injured patients? Combat triage is the act of making these choices based on historical evidence, decision-making processes of what you have available, and current practices used by the military. As part of the member of a deployed unit in the Air Force, I'm going to talk to you about combat triage. Combat triage is a developing concept that we've seen develop throughout history. In an article written by Charles C. Yancey and Maria C. O'Rourke titled Emergency Department Triage, it began around the 18th century when General Surgeon Baron Dominique Jean Leray for Napoleon Bonaparte's Imperial Guard implemented a system to rapidly evaluate and treat patients in the battlefield. Later, this was implemented in the hospital settings in 1964. The concept has been around for a few hundred years. It remains pretty much the same. The process is to choose who you can save and when. There are a few examples of equipment and situations that helped us better understand and refine the process of triage. One of these examples is the use of tourniquets and another ventilators during the COVID-19 response. These two advents of equipment are separated by 156 years, but in both instances we were able to see the limitations of the equipment, how to better utilize it, and how we can triage patients with what we have available. Now that we understand that history does play a role in our decision making in triage settings, let's move on to talk about how you make that tough choice. We know that triage is a treat first based on knowledge and resources. According to an article titled Ethical Guidance for Hard Decisions, a critical review of early international COVID-19 ICU triage guidelines, to quote it, it says, it is a balance of medical needs of the patient, the likely outcome, the burdens of treatment, and the wishes of the patient. When assessing who you can treat, all of these things come into play. The idea is that you don't want to spend too much time and resources trying to save one patient and letting 5 expire, when you could have saved the 5 and let the 1 expire. It's an impossible decision to make, but by defining the process, reviewing what you have available in equipment, personnel, and medicine, the goal is to take some of that decision making out of your hands. Now that we understand how difficult it can be to make decisions in triage, let's look at some of the tactics that we use in the military today to help us make that decision. Our tactics include a system called START, Simple Triage and Rapid Treatment, and a color coding system where we treat people and code them red, yellow, green, or black. According to Chief Triage Officer Lieutenant Colonel Tina Lucas Stoner of the 379th EMEDS, Armed Forces Medicine has refined the process with evidence-based practices to optimize the outcome of saving lives. The goal of each of these systems, and while these are 2 among dozens, is to implement a system and stick to it, to practice to that system. It doesn't do you any good to know a bunch of systems generally and not any very well. By implementing a system and sticking to it, the goal is to take some of that decision making out of your hands, to make it more instinctual and something that comes naturally. You may only have a few seconds to decide who to treat, who you can save, and who you can't. You can't be stuck in the moment. You have to be making decisions, and you have to be instinctual. In conclusion, we understand how history plays a role in the development of triage, how it can be impossible to make the choice, but it's based in evidence, it's based in medicine, and what you have available in the time, and how important it is to find a system, implement it, know it, and practice it. Triage is important to saving battlefield lives and making as big of an impact in the outcome of patients, and you never know when a little bit of baseline knowledge can make the difference.